This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
What's going on, everybody? It's a Thursday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man, who during the commercial break literally just said to us, guys, go on. I've got a little bit of a family situation here. And you know Browner. Browner's so uptight when it comes to talking about his personal life. So we'll see if Browner makes it back onto the show. Literally do not know at this moment if Browner makes it back onto today's show. So along with Grande and perhaps ultimately the Brown Man.
Maybe.
This is Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Alex, let's just jump right in on the story about Kevin O'Connell. Look, I say it all the time. I love what's happening with this young man. Many of us saw him play his high school football in San Diego County, then play his college football at San Diego State. Watched him go into the NFL, and as I recall, Kevin O'Connell was a second-round draft choice of the New England Patriots. When Kevin, you'll have to check me on my facts here because I know it's been a while.
Third
round pick. Okay. To the Patriots. So Kevin goes to the Patriots. And at the time, we, as Kevin O'Connell's supporters, were like, oh my God, I'm literally getting goosebumps thinking about it. Like, wow, our little Kevin O'Connell, he ain't so little. From San Diego, high school ball. Was it La Costa Canyon High School? I'm like 99% sure. La Costa Canyon High, San Diego State. Oh my God, third round draft choice, New England Patriots, Tom Brady's backup, Bill Belichick. It didn't last long for Kevin at New England. In fact, Alex, I don't even know that he was with them for a full season. He may have gotten cut early in his career with New England. Do you have a resume on that, or at least a background on that?
No, yeah, he played a whole year.
He did. He played a season with the Patriots. I've heard.
Yes.
And then he got cut by the Patriots, which was at the time
2 days after a preseason game that he went 3 of 10.
Yeah, I remember thinking though, hey, look, this guy is a third round draft choice. You draft a guy in the third round to be your backup to Tom Brady. Why are you cutting him so early? Now, I don't know what year that was. Do you happen to see what year he got cut by New England?
2009.
Okay, so 2009. Just wondering, what was the year? I don't know if anybody remembers.
Do you want his full resume as a player?
I do. That would be really great. Go for it.
It's not that long.
Okay.
You said third round pick drafted out of New England 2008.
Right.
Was cut 2009 during the preseason.
Yeah.
The Lions claimed him
Mhm.
and then traded him that September to the Jets for a 7th round pick. He was on the Jets for 2 seasons. Then he was placed on injury reserve and released in July of 11, signed with the Dolphins, waived, went back to the Jets, even had a emergency backup role with the Chargers in 2012. So total career 2008 to parts of 2012.
Yeah, listen, it didn't turn out the way Kevin O'Connell expected, and the way we had all hoped for as his fans, as his supporters. Because you got to remember, at this stage of his life, and I probably not long after his playing days were over, like 2012, call it 13, 14 in that range. Alex, do you remember when Kevin O'Connell would on occasion come into the 1090 studios and co-host the show?
Yeah, it was in between that after the Chargers stint and before he became a coach. I believe he was quarterback coaching. And also
he was doing private coaching, right?
And also filling in for Darren, filling in for us because of the relationship he had with everybody there.
Yeah. So I sent Kevin a text last night. I haven't texted him in a long time. But I sent him a text last night saying, hey, sounds great. Awesome. Congrats. Hope this all comes true. And he didn't get back to me, which is not totally unusual. It's just that one of these moments where you have to be smart if you're him. Like if he writes me back and he goes, hey, thanks, I'm super excited, this is great, then I know that this Vikings deal is a done deal and I start blabbing my fat mouth.
Right.
I don't know that this is officially
can't be
announced,
official.
And it can't be because he's still coaching in the Super Bowl. So presumably the Super Bowl ends on Sunday next week. And on Monday, Kevin O'Connell is on a plane and he's moving up to Minneapolis.
Maybe Tuesday if they win.
Yeah.
When was the last?
Oh, wait a second.
Delaware.
We're about to get a piece of Browner back here. Oh, Browner's back. How you doing, man? You okay?
We live in. When was the
All
last
right.
time you talked to him via text?
It was probably last season. I didn't bother him this season. I
You didn't have
figured.
him on in LA?
Oh no, not at all. No,
Mm.
no. I just figured I'd leave him alone, and not bother him. I think the last time I did have him on, it might have been on the radio in LA, but I don't. It's
We
been a
had him
while.
on. I remember texting him
Yeah.
when he was hired by the Rams. And
Hmm.
I gotta look at the archives, but I know he was on this podcast because I
Yeah.
texted him and he was like, "Yeah, let's just ask Artis." And I asked Artis because he's always cool with it.
Yeah, he's the PR guy for
So
the
I
Rams.
think he was on this podcast. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm almost sure
Maybe
you're
we
right.
were on radio. I don't know.
Well, look, all I can say is this. Again, back to this story. Here's a kid that we all watched play at La Costa Canyon High School, San Diego State, try and make his way into the NFL. Third round pick of the Patriots, cut in his second year, which is highly unusual when you have a quarterback drafted that high. I don't remember who the backup quarterback was for Tom Brady back then. It could have been like a Matt
They
Castle.
signed Brian Hoyer.
Oh my God, they signed Brian Hoyer. This is stuff that I'm not remembering. But then again, to be moved around, cut by the Patriots, picked up by the Lions, traded to the Jets. Now I have to pause for a second because many of you will remember this. The Jets at that time were featured on HBO's version of what's the name of the show?
Hard Knocks.
Right? And I think Rex Ryan, I'm almost sure about this. Rex Ryan is the coach of the Jets.
Is that the infamous "Let's get a GD snack"?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I also got to, again, I'm trying to put this all together live on the air. They may have drafted Mark Sanchez around that time in the first round and one of the top picks. So
yeah, so he went to the Jets 2009. Rex Ryan was a coach 2009 to 14.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so there's this moment on HBO's Hard Knocks. I'm sure it's findable for those of you that want to go look this up, where they cut Kevin O'Connell on the show. And look, we as fans, that's the drama that we all like on Hard Knocks, unless it's happening to your friend, And so to watch our guy, Kevin O'Connell, be released by the Jets on Hard Knocks, it was too bad. My point is this. When you're a third round pick as a quarterback in the NFL and you don't ever really, really make it, you kind of think to yourself, gosh, this is like the worst thing that ever happened. I thought I was going to be a first rounder. I became a third rounder. I made a couple bucks. Bill Belichick cut me. I can't, the Detroit Lions don't want me. I can't make it on the New York Jets, etc. But Kevin O'Connell started his coaching career. And Alex, give us a resume of Kevin O'Connell and how he has elevated pretty quickly through the ranks. Although it's not overnight success, hardly. Let's take a look at this. Go ahead.
Quarterback coach in 2015 with the Cleveland Browns in 2016.
And I remember him getting that job. Hold on one second. I remember him getting that job in Cleveland and thinking to myself, Kevin O'Connell's a great guy. Johnny Manziel's kind of a douche. And I remember Kevin O'Connell was the coach there during that Johnny Manziel period of time. Okay, keep going with the resume.
2016 special projects coach with the San Francisco 49ers.
A special projects coach in the NFL is essentially a guy on the staff
that is, let me pay my homeboy some money.
Well, it's more like breaking down film. You're like the assistant to the assistant, or
gotcha.
You're doing a lot of the grunt work, but it's important work to help the coaching staff and help the players, and it's valuable work for a young guy.
You're on a staff of a team.
Is that a job I can get?
No, you can't get that job.
I can edit video.
Maybe with like maybe with a G League team, you could get that job.
You know how you can get that job?
What?
If you had a relative that was the head coach.
That'd be helpful.
I got one of those.
Hire you immediately. Yeah.
That'd be helpful.
Well, if Anthony Lynn was still around, maybe he could hire you for that.
Yep.
I can call the Lions tomorrow.
He's not. He got fired.
Don't you worry about that.
Wow, he was a quarterbacks coach in Washington 2017. That was the Kirk Cousins. You like that year?
I'm just trying to put this all together. Is in 2017, is Sean McVay the offensive coordinator of the then Washington Redskins?
Yeah, it was the year before he came to the Rams, right? Or was he already with the Rams?
I think
Look at us.
I know we have to play
at
this
us.
all out live on the air. Bottom line is he goes to
No,
Washington.
he was already the head coach of the Rams.
Okay, so he goes to Washington, and he's there for 2017, and then the next year where he goes from quarterbacks coach, the following year quarterbacks coach / passing game coordinator for Washington. Then the following year he elevates again and he becomes the offensive coordinator, and then leaves Washington to come join Sean McVay. This is after Zach Taylor had left to go to Cincinnati, and Matt LaFleur had left to go to Green Bay, and Kevin O'Connell becomes the offensive coordinator of the Rams. But the thing is, he's never been a play caller. He may have called the plays in Washington, but in his tenure with the Rams, he's not the play caller. So for everybody that says, their knock on a guy like Eric Bieniemy, by way of example, well, Bieniemy's good, but it's Andy Reid who's calling the plays. So how good do we know Eric Bieniemy is? The same criticism can be levied against Kevin O'Connell, but the difference is that the McVay guys all have seemed to have gone on to success. And so we all know the story. This isn't news to anybody. Every NFL team, for whatever reason, over the last 4 years or so, has gone and plucked the coordinators, not even the coordinators, the coach, the assistant coaches. I mean, the guy from Cincinnati was a quarterbacks coach. Quarterbacks coach to head coach is a big jump. That's like going from AA baseball to the major leagues.
Tatis did.
Well, Tatis is exceptional. And now
Taylor's
Zach Taylor
exceptional.
has proven to be exceptional. And maybe Kevin O'Connell will prove to be exceptional. But it's such an interesting thing to see a guy that you actually know as a person, not like, hey, I covered him, I saw him play. Like, you actually know this guy. And how old is Kevin now, Alex? Do you know?
30. He is a week younger than me, or older than me.
35?
He's 30. He's 35, going to be 36.
If Kevin O'Connell gets this job again, I don't know Kevin O'Connell. You guys' relationship with him is far exceeding mine.
Sorry, he's 36. He's going to be 37.
Kevin O'Connell gets this job in the current climate of what's happening around the NFL. This is going to look bad for the Vikings. Now, again, that resume might be great. He might be the right hire. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's not qualified. You just went down his resume. He put his work in to get the opportunity, and now he's getting the chance. Of the jobs available, I would say this is a great job to have. So I would jump at the chance if I was Kevin O'Connell to coach the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm not disparaging any of his ability. But let's talk about Brian Leftwich, a guy who calls plays, a guy
Who's
who
that?
won a Super Bowl. Myron, whatever you want to call it. Coach Leftwich, okay? Won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady, with Bruce Arians. So he's been under smart guys, good tutelage to go out and then see if he can be successful. His resume would be better than Kevin O'Connell's. Let's do the same thing with the Chiefs offensive coordinator, Bieniemy. Won Super Bowls, Coach Patrick Mahomes, #1 offense in the NFL. Doesn't seem to get this exact same opportunity. Again, I'm not saying Kevin O'Connell's not qualified.
No, you're actually bringing up a great point, Browner. I mean, you really are, because if you're Kevin O'Connell, you're being hired as an NFL head coach in the middle of this controversial climate now.
Right.
And look, again, if I'm in Kevin O'Connell's position, and let's just say I'm making $1 million right now as the offensive coordinator of the Rams, and the Vikings come get me and they're going to pay me $5 million a year, I'm going to take that job. But I do have to be prepared emotionally that right now the league is in a moment in time where we've been talking Rooney Rule for 20 years, and it's not getting any better. And yet this is another young, white, qualified.
Yes.
But perhaps apples to apples, if I look at Eric Bieniemy's resume and I look at Kevin O'Connell's, Bieniemy may win. If I look at Byron Leftwich's, his resume may be on paper better. Maybe. True. Coach Tom Brady won a Super Bowl. Coach Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl. Kevin O'Connell. Coach Jared Goff
lost in the Super Bowl to Patrick Mahomes.
No, and he wasn't on
there
staff.
Okay.
But he coached Jared Goff to a playoff appearance, and now he's coached Matthew Stafford, and they've made it to a Super Bowl, and maybe they'll win. And if they win, his resume becomes more comparable to those two guys that you mentioned. But I actually do hear what you're saying, Browner, that Kevin O'Connell is becoming a head coach as a young guy with I'll call it limited experience.
Yes.
Other guys, by the way, Brandon Staley, Kevin O'Connell's resume crushes Brandon Staley's resume.
Yes.
You know? And so I hear what you're saying, and I thought the same thing. Like, gosh, it's a great thing for Kevin O'Connell. It's going to be great for him financially. It's going to be great for him to grow as a coach.
And I think this is a great job.
And it's a great job.
Yes.
It really is. Minnesota's a great job. They've got talent on that team. They've got a
both
brand
sides
new
of the
stadium.
ball.
Yeah, Minneapolis is a good city to live in. I mean, it's a good job for Kevin O'Connell. But I do feel for him that he's getting a head coaching job in the middle of this climate.
I'm in his press conference. That question's going to come up.
Well,
and whoever's available during media day at his press conference, this question will come up. It just will. Like, because until yesterday, this was Jim Harbaugh's job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and nobody really had a problem with Jim Harbaugh because of his resume.
Exactly. Because like I said yesterday, as a black coach, your reputation better outweigh your resume. And in this particular case, for the two black coaches we're talking about, apparently it doesn't.
But you know something else? We talked about this yesterday. You know how many other guys out there are white assistant coaches who have a better resume than Kevin O'Connell? There's a lot of them, trust me when I tell you. If I just took my buddy Alex Van Pelt, okay? Alex Van Pelt, I'm just using him as an example because I know him well, and all of our listeners and viewers know that this was my college roommate, and he's the offensive coordinator of the Browns. But honestly, like Alex's resume, when you look at it versus Kevin O'Connell's resume, he's been at it longer. He had a more distinguished college career as a player. He had a much more distinguished player career in the NFL. And he's bounced around the league as a quarterback's coach, passing game coordinator. He was a receivers coach at one time. He's been an offensive coordinator, et cetera, et cetera. And Alex is 52 or going to be 52, and Kevin's 36. And Alex got a whole lot more experience and yet can't get a sniff. The difference is it's not the resume. Kevin O'Connell, and I think Kevin would agree with this, got a very, very lucky break in his career because he went to the Rams, and McVay is the hottest coach in the NFL when it comes to producing the next generation of head coaches. So the lucky part of it is that he worked for McVay. If he doesn't work for McVay and he's still in Washington, the likelihood of Kevin O'Connell being given an opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL, probably a lot lower.
But here's my problem with what you're saying.
It's the McVay issue.
Here's my problem with what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Last year, the Browns were one of the best offenses in the league.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. So did AVP get any interviews after that?
Nope.
Which begs the question of why.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because you want to know what the knock is?
Do it.
Not the play caller.
But neither is this kid.
But he's a McVay guy. That's why what you're saying about him being white and young versus more mature black coaching candidates
who calls plays and won a Super Bowl.
But and again, as much as the NFL
doesn't Bruce call his own plays?
I feel like Bruce Arians is the play caller.
Bruce calls his own plays. Andy Reid calls his own plays. I'm not going to defend the action. I'll just say, as the Viking fan of the group, do they get a pass that two of their last four head coaches were black? If we're only looking at it from a black and white issue, Denny Green and Leslie Frazier in between Mike Tyson and Zimmer.
Because I'm not saying that this is a Vikings issue,
right? So I think like to even think that O'Connell has anything to answer, it's like he's not the one hiring,
Right.
Like
but he's going to get that question.
Sure, once and then you move on.
Yeah, what's he going to say?
Dayball's going to get it more than him.
He's going to get more questions.
He's going to get more than him. The dude Hackett's going to get it more than him because those are the two teams. The Vikings are not going to get any blowback from this because
the Vikings can rest on their background, right?
The Vikings have a more solid minority hiring coaching leg to stand on than most organizations in the NFL. So again, this isn't about the Vikings per se. This is just about the process in which how we came to Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah. No, right. I actually
would say that that's, as the NFL and as an outsider, that's still the issue. As a Vikings fan, the issue is that they chose him, an inexperienced he will be a first-time head coach that has everything to prove over Jim Harbaugh. That to me is a bigger issue.
Did they choose him over Harbaugh, or did
Yes.
Harbaugh tell them he didn't want the job?
Everything that I have read, Harbaugh went in there thinking it was his job.
Yep, that's what I read too.
Yeah.
It was his job. He went in there prepared to do the interview, but was taken back by the fact that they were interviewing him super hard, like he was interviewing for the job. He thought it was a formality. And to me, that's a bigger issue.
Well, if I were Harbaugh, he goes back to Michigan like, hey, I'm staying
to the Vikings.
I would have. I mean, there's still NFL head coaching jobs available, and if Jim Harbaugh wants to get back in,
but there's a difference between. No, I mean, you
I'm
really
taking
want to
the
go?
Vikings.
You really want to go take the Texans job right now? If you're
No,
Jim
of
Harbaugh,
course
you
not.
really want to go take
the Saints
the
job.
Dolphins job?
Dolphins job.
I wouldn't take the Dolphins
want
job
that
right
one either.
now.
I know.
I wouldn't take the Saints job right now.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's keep rolling. Coming up, Kevin Demoff, who's the CEO of the Rams, says the Rams can and are winning LA. We'll talk about that coming up. This segment of Kaplan and Crew is being brought to us by Corky's Pest Control. Get ready, Browner. Call 1-800-901-1102.
Corky's.
Yeah, you got any pest control problems, you know who to call. You call Corky's Pest Control. Best prices, best guarantee when it comes to termites. Corky's the man. Let him take care of your place. We're going to keep going with this.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Catch the action as St. Augustine takes on Mission Bay February 4th at 7:30 p.m. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable. From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health.
I'm Erica Cardenas. On the next episode of Your Health, we're kicking off the new year with healthy lifestyle tips. We tackle and bust health myths and need-to-know education about the COVID-19 vaccine.
Watch Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on YourView.
I founded Driveway Auction after working in the automotive industry, becoming a dealer and questioning the process that puts consumers at a huge disadvantage when selling their cars.
The big difference between Driveway and the other services is that Driveway works for you. If you've ever tried to sell a car, you know that it's an awful process that makes you either go and meet strangers in parking lots to take test drives or sit at the dealership for hours and hours while they wear you down. Driveway eliminated all of that.
With Driveway Auction, we come to you, so we complete the 40-point vehicle inspection from the comfort and convenience of your own driveway.
We send an independent third-party inspector to take measurements of the car, take pictures of it, evaluate the condition.
But we use that information to advocate for you, using our network of buyers to compete. And when they compete, you win.
They take over the whole process, and you don't have to do anything.
Our clients get more money and a better process with Driveway.
Everybody at Driveway made me feel so comfortable during the whole process. It was a great experience.
Prospect Home Finance is a mortgage company. We specialize in residential refinances and home purchases. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, if you're going out looking for a pre-approval to buy a new home, meet with the realtor, we would help you facilitate that. and walk you through the process from A to Z. We specialize in getting homeowners loans for their dream home, but we also do more than that. So today we came down to Ocean Beach, partnered up with Surfrider, and had some team members come down here from Prospect, all pitched together, and I had quite a bit of trash to clean up.
It's really heartening to see people come out and really care for the waterways.
It was great getting out here, and we're gonna do it again soon. We're always looking for ways to give back to the community of San Diego. So if you have any ideas or need any help or support in any way, visit us at homefinance.com.
1090 just got bigger and better. Please join us in welcoming SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate, the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. NFL, MLB, NBA, live game, the best sports talk programming with the largest signal in all of California. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez on Su Vida.
Welcome to 2022. Did you make a New Year's resolution?
We have the top 10 most popular and our advice on the next
Su Vida.
Watch Su Vida Sunday night at 7 on YourView and YourView.com. Catch the action as St. Augustine takes on Mission Bay February 4th at 7:30 p.m. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
We were the first. We carry the fire that began civilizations, and then we built them. We strengthened a nation, and then we fought for it. We are scientists, poets, and lawmakers. We are artists, leaders, and warriors. And as we gaze toward tomorrow, we leave an indelible mark on the past. Black History Month on Your View is proudly brought to you by Subaru of El Cajon, an extraordinary experience for everyone.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
San Diego State women's basketball got the win against Utah State in the final second of the game on Wednesday night. Mercedes Staples got the lay-in with less than a second left to get the Aztecs the 68-67 win. SDSU led for much of the game, but in the final minute, there were 6 lead changes. Sofia Ramos led the charge for SDSU with her second straight game, scoring 27 points. Ramos shot 9 for 16 from the floor and 8 for 9 from the line. She became the first Aztec in the Mountain West era to score 25 points or more in back-to-back games. She also led the team in rebounds, assists, and steals in the win. Asia Avender tallied on 13 points, and Staples had 12 points for the Aztecs. Next up, SDSU will play Boise State on Saturday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by YourView.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Bondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
When California weather conditions create a high risk for wildfires, electric companies may shut off power in some neighborhoods as a precaution. These public safety power shutoffs could affect homes and businesses and interrupt power to your home, devices, and even our Cox facilities. During a PSPS, we'll work hard to keep customers connected to their Cox services in conditions that are safe for you, our employees, and our community. For information and updates, follow us on Twitter and visit Cox.com.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
All right, great friends. It's a Thursday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew. If you're just getting with us, here in the 7 Mile Casino studios, me, Grande, and the Brown Man, we're all talking about something that feels like I don't know how you feel about this, Alex, but I feel like we're giving birth, if you will. I know it's probably the wrong phrase, but I feel like we're we're seeing one of our guys. Kevin O'Connell was a child at La Costa Canyon High School. He was a young man at San Diego State. He was growing up through some hard times as a player in the NFL, and he has advanced, I don't want to say like quickly through the ranks, but he's been an NFL assistant coach since 2015. He got with the right team at the right time. He's going to be coaching in the Super Bowl next Sunday for the Rams. And then, according to all of the reports, Kevin O'Connell is set to be named the next head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. And Browner, I thought your point was interesting that, and Alex combated it in an interesting way. The Vikings have done a very good job of hiring minority candidates, but Kevin O'Connell or anybody else who's a white new head coach in the NFL is going to face the, I'm putting this in quotes, the backlash of what is now this Brian Flores lawsuit, and how a guy like Hugh Jackson, who was the former coach of the Cleveland Browns, who had an absolutely awful record while he was the head coach of the Browns, he's now jumping on this bandwagon. And look, I don't know if Hugh Jackson's a good coach or a bad coach, but here's what I can tell you. The record is what it is, which makes him look really bad, which is probably what Brian Flores was worried about. You're going to give me $100,000 to lose games, and then I'm going to have a terrible record, and then I'm going to get fired. No one's going to hire me, and everyone's going to think I'm a terrible coach. But in Hugh Jackson's case, I can only say this. I watched Hard Knocks of the Cleveland Browns a few years ago, and the way he was not in control of his coaching staff, which played out for everybody to see. Who was the assistant coach? His name was Todd something.
Haley.
Todd Gailey?
Now, that guy sucked
Haley.
everywhere he went, though.
Todd
He sucked
Haley.
at Pittsburgh. He
Yeah.
sucked at Cleveland. He sucked everywhere he went. That's
Yeah.
a guy that you ask the question, how does he keep getting jobs?
Well, he doesn't. I mean, I don't think Todd Haley's coaching right now.
Yeah.
But Todd Haley is sitting in a coach's conference room team meeting, and here's the head coach trying to lay down the law, and here's Todd Haley completely defying the coach in front of everybody and usurping his authority the way I saw it as a viewer. And so I thought to myself, this guy, Hugh Jackson, he's not in control of his coaching staff for sure. I'm not saying other guys shouldn't have opinions or that they might, push back on a head coach. But when the cameras are rolling like this, he made Hugh Jackson look bad. So Hugh Jackson jumping in on this is, I'm not so sure this is such a great thing. I don't know yet for the Brian Flores lawsuit.
Yeah, I know we're not talking about this. This is more of the last segment, but you brought the Browns up, and I find them to be a very interesting study when you're talking about what Browner's talking about and what you're talking about the last segment as far as hype and right timing. Because when Stefanski was hired, was it right after Hugh Jackson?
I think no, I think there was somebody in between for like a year.
Okay. Right. So when Stefanski went to Cleveland and he took them to the playoffs, I was pissed that the Vikings kept Zimmer and didn't keep Stefanski. He was our offensive coordinator. When Bieniemy won the Super Bowl, that was his year to get a job. Like, you got to strike at the right time. And there was reports that he was being a little picky about it, right? Like, he didn't want to go to like a crap organization. And I think that's kind of what it goes. It's Browner's 100% right. There's qualified black guys that are not getting jobs, whatever reasons that may be. And we don't even know behind the scenes, Scott, like how many of these interviews would even approach the subject about what are the goals for an organization. Not every organization's goal is to win a Super Bowl. They can say it publicly, but privately, what are the real goals of an organization?
Like, they know they're looking at their roster. They know what's up, and they know what's in college football. They know what's coming.
Right. So it's I think that there's so much we don't know when it comes to a hiring of a head coach. And I'm not making any excuses for NFL owners whatsoever. I'm just telling you, I think that there's so much behind when you interview someone for 9 hours, like the Vikings did to Jim Harbaugh. What do you talk for 9 hours about something? Like, who knows what's being really said behind the scenes? So I would give a lot of validity to what Hugh Jackson is saying. I give some validity to the things Brian Flores is saying. Obviously, John Elway came out and like denied everything because what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? Yeah, I showed up hungover. You know what I mean? I just think it's a very interesting time in the NFL. And I think Bronner has a little bit of a point where owners might think twice about who they're hiring if they're not confident that they're doing things the right way. What do I mean by that? I think the Vikings owners, for as much as I don't like them, I think they're confident that we just kind of hire who we think is the best guy. Black guy, white guy, whatever. I don't think that's the case for every organization. I really don't.
Well, I mean, I think if you're Brian Flores, just to finish this thought on that, because this is all sort of interconnected.
Yeah.
If you're Brian Flores and you have an owner who's saying to you, I want you to intentionally lose games. And
For
if you
this amount of money.
right, and I'll pay you this much money. I'm incentivizing you. Please, I know you want to win. I know you work hard, but I'm telling you, we need to lose these games because that's how we're going to build our franchise is through the draft. So the higher pick we have, the better chance we have to get a franchise quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. If you're Brian Flores, you look at it and you go, well, if I'm a black guy, I've worked really hard to get here. It's been a major headache for me to become a head coach. My resume says I'm ready, but I've been having a hard time trying to get, this job. Now I finally have a head coaching job and you're using me to lose games. And here's what's going to happen because I'm smart enough to know because I've been around the game enough. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to lose. You're going to tell me that you're going to be patient with me. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to leave this job and I'll never get another job again, like a Hugh Jackson, because no one thinks I'm good because of my record. So you're asking me to sacrifice my future. Why are you asking me, the black guy, to accept all the losses now so that what's going to happen is I'm going to get fired and you're going to hire a white guy?
Yeah.
We're going to build the roster through the draft because we are bad. And then you're going to fire me and you're going to hire a white guy. And that's what's going to happen.
I think there's
much. And if people are listening to this and you think that's not true, look at the Houston Texans. That's a live example of what he's just explaining. Literally just happened this season with the Houston Texans. Look at it.
Yeah. I think that there's also a lot of what we're seeing has to do with the owner of the team. Stan Kroenke, to me, is super hands-off. He has expectations. He has demands. He puts the people he believes in place. They deal with it. Kevin Demoff, you go hire the right guy. You hire Les Snead. Les Snead better hire the right guy. And if you guys suck, I'm firing you. That's it. I don't think Kroenke is calling McVay, hey, come get on this yacht with me and come recruit Tom Brady illegally in Miami. Whereas Stephen Ross seems like if you want to work for the Dolphins, you better kiss ass to Stephen Ross directly and have a relationship with Stephen Ross. I think there's a lot of this hiring process to me has to do with who's your owner. Is the owner hands-on? Is the owner hands-off? That's a big part of it.
Arthur Blank strikes me the same way. Jerry Jones strikes me the same way. The Commanders owner strikes me the same way.
Daniel Snyder, yeah.
As a guy
like
who,
in Seattle, it's the opposite, I feel like.
Yes.
I don't even know who the owner is right now in Seattle.
It's a family. It's ran by a family.
Right. And they seem hands-off until it comes to big decision time. And then they come in like, okay, the guy running the ship needs to go. And then that's when we get involved. But on a day-to-day, basis, I don't think Stan Kroenke is pulling strings. I don't think
who owns the Cardinals? No one knows. What do they look like? What do they sound like?
Well, yeah, that's the Bidwell family. And they're not exactly like, look, Jerry Jones is a completely different kind of guy. Stephen Ross fits into that. To some degree, I think
Ziggy Wolf.
Well, Robert Kraft, you think of him as being hands-off because you think of him as just telling Belichick, do whatever you need to do. But
he's been fortunate to do that for 22 years.
But the thing is it's just like, look, all these owners are white guys. And when Eric Bieniemy, I'll just give you an example. When Eric Bieniemy walks into a room, and he's from where he's from.
He's got a presence.
And he's got his life experiences are his, and you're a billionaire white guy. And here's this young, well, not young so much, 53, 54-year-old black guy who's from this part of LA.
Intimidating.
Colorado. It can be intimidating. And then you think to yourself, do I trust him? Do I want him to run my organization? How do
Am I going to be able to tell him what to do one-on-one in a room?
Well, that's exactly what happened with the Vikings yesterday. The only reason Jim Harbaugh is even interested in the Vikings is because their new GM. Their GM had a relationship with him. I don't know how the connection goes. And the GM had to convince the Wilfs to even bring him in for an interview. Whereas how many owners would get on their knees to get someone like Jim Harbaugh as their head coach?
Did. He didn't even interview.
Whereas the Wilfs were intimidated by his reputation that regardless of the success and the proven track record of success in multiple organizations and different levels,
Right.
they're like, we can't deal with the presence of Jim Harbaugh.
Can't control him. You know,
Can't
Kevin
control him.
O'Connell's 36. He's new to being a head coach. He costs less money. And when I tell him what to do, he's going to be intimidated by me, the owner, not the other way around.
Which is
All right,
why,
listen.
like, the whole thing, real quick.
Yeah.
I love Kevin O'Connell. I don't love the hiring when Jim Harbaugh was plan B. So Jim Harbaugh should be plan A. For 95% of the organizations in the NFL, he would be plan A. And for whatever reason, because of the ownership, they didn't want like another Zimmer uncontrollable kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
happy
hey, listen.
for Kevin.
Yeah,
not
me
happy
too.
not happy just because like he has to prove himself. Not happy for the Vikings because you bring Harbaugh in, I feel automatic winner. Especially in a time of transition in that division when Aaron Rodgers is likely leaving.
Well, let's hope and let's root for Kevin O'Connell to.
I won't.
Well, of course you won't.
I
You're a
won't.
Bears fan.
I hope he's terrible.
We understand that.
Hopefully he knows how to call timeouts and like just like manage a game. You know, like I'm really because McVay, like those challenges he was doing on Sunday, like I'm hoping he picks up the good stuff and not the bad stuff. You know, like keep your head on your head because McVay loses it sometimes. Like I really hope O'Connell translates to being a good head coach because being a good play caller, being a good offensive mind, that doesn't translate to being a good head coach.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Hey, listen, let me do this. I want to transition into Kevin Demoff, the CEO of the Rams, and his commentary on winning the fight for LA. And we'll get to that in just a couple of seconds. But Alex, I notice over your right shoulder, I notice you've got that box from Manscaped. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. The Manscaped, this package that they now have available for you. Okay, this is the Performance Package 4.0. It comes with the lawnmower, which is like the beard trimmer or like the chest hair or pit hair or really ball hair is really their big thing. Right. And by the way, these guys at Manscaped, they're up in Carlsbad. They are serious. They want February 13th to be a national holiday, National Shave Your Balls Day. I don't know if it's going to go through. I don't know how far they have to take it up the ladder at the U.S. government to make it an official holiday, but they're pushing on it real hard. But you've got the Lawnmower 4.0. Then you've got the Weed Whacker, which I know I need. It's the nose and the ear trimmer, which is really great. And then there's two free gifts. There's the travel bag, which I'm using right now. And then there's the anti-chafing boxer briefs. And let me tell you something right now. These are the best underwear I've ever worn. I only have one pair. They need to be washed. Okay. I'm being honest here. They need to be washed. But Alex, I got to go onto the Manscaped website. I know you've got it up on the screen right now and find out, can I just buy the underwear individually? Because I've already got the 4.0 package. I've already got the lawnmower. I've already got the trimmer. I've got the ball deodorant, the spray. I've got their shampoo. I've got their body soap. I mean, I've got every Manscaped product. Can I buy these? Oh, how much are they a pair?
It is for 3. You get for $40.
Dude, I'm in. I'm buying that today.
Yeah.
These are the best underwear you've ever worn. So not only should you get the 4.0 performance package from Manscaped.
Oh, look, you can do it by month. You can get new ones every 3 months.
Oh, I'm doing that. I am doing that. I promise you, I absolutely swear to you, these are the best underwear you've ever worn. Go to manscaped.com. You get an exclusive offer from Kaplan and Crew, which is 20% off and free shipping when you use the promo code GreatFriends. You understand what I'm saying? The promo code is GreatFriends.
These are nice.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm wearing them. Right, they are.
You wearing them right now?
At this exact moment. If I could stand up and show you, and if I didn't embarrass myself with my fat belly, I'm telling you right now, take a look at these bad boys. Here they are. There they are. Manscaped underpants. There they are. God, I'm fat. Ugh, I'm disgusting. I'm going to start my diet. Anyway, Manscaped. Use our promo code, GreatFriends. You'll save 20% and you get free shipping. And super stoked to be working with this company because let me tell you something. I have chased these guys down for a really long time. Browner, have you tried on these panties?
He's already offended by the word panties.
I decided to skip that. Thank you. They don't go down long enough for me.
See, I like them.
It's like a thong?
No, it's like a boxer
like a banana
brief.
hammock for
I
you,
hang
Browner?
out.
You do,
You know
huh?
what I mean?
I do. Well, I don't have that problem. I don't have that issue. So anyway, listen, support our sponsors always. Local company, San Diego County based,
Everything else
Carlsbad.
works. Everything else is great. The shaver, the trimmer, the deodorant, all that top notch.
You know what I'm
Easy.
excited for?
Hands down. The underwear, I'm swinging.
I know we're not promoting this, but I'm
Yeah.
excited because I just ran out of body wash. We just got this package too. All the body washes and shampoos and stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm testing out the body wash tomorrow. I'm officially out. So
Yeah. Hey, so dude, do me this favor, everybody, and do yourself this favor. Buy the 4.0 package and use our promo code Great Friends, and you'll get 20% savings and free shipping. It's a really bomb deal. And then get back to me because I'm telling you right now, this Manscaped underwear is the best. I'm buying the 3-pack. I'm doing that for $40. That's a great deal. Really great deal. All right, let me get back into what we were talking about as we start to get ready for the Super Bowl. And I mentioned this from 2 to 3 weeks ago when the Chargers were knocked out of the playoffs by the Raiders. And the Rams were going to host the first round playoff game against Arizona. The Rams are playing. The Chargers are not. The Rams are a front page headline. The Chargers are not. The Rams are playing on TV in front of 50 million people. The Chargers are not. This is not about who's got a better football team or a better football franchise. Those two questions are obvious. The Rams do. But if the Chargers are trying to do battle in LA, not only are they losing on the field, but while the Rams are still playing and they're playing in front of so many people on TV, et cetera, from a corporate sales standpoint, if I'm in the front office of the Rams and I'm thinking about next year and partnerships and brands and dollars, sponsorship dollars, this run to the Super Bowl that saw the wild card game in your home stadium, somehow by a football miracle, the NFC Championship game in your home stadium, you win it, and now you're going to host the Super Bowl in your home stadium. When you think about the fight for LA, not necessarily being about football teams on the field, but about the community outreach and corporate sponsorship world, the Rams have now put in, they've by virtue of their on-field success, they now have a monster lead. So when the Rams showed up, they were the team. And when the Chargers showed up, they were trying to inch their way up. And when the Chargers jumped into SoFi Stadium and now they've got a young hotshot quarterback, people are thinking, oh, maybe it's getting a little closer. And then the Chargers don't make the playoffs and the Rams get to the Super Bowl and the Rams become the dominant brand of NFL football in LA. Here's the CEO of the team, Kevin Demoff, who, by the way, Kev, see how my hair is completely black because I get it colored? Think about this. I mean, I know.
Look at him and you think about it.
All right, let's take a look at Kevin Demoff. Let's take a listen.
Can you ever own this market?
I absolutely believe that we can own this market. And I think that's probably the wrong thing to say. I absolutely believe that we can be at the level the Dodgers and the Lakers have been, and continue to. But those teams have been decades of success and championships and building a fan base, building a deep multicultural fan base. Stars, legends, Hall of Famers, and building on consistency. And I think that's why the answer to your question, Bill, is the next 2 weeks are important, but so is 2022 and so is 2023. You cannot get to be at the pinnacle of this market by having one great season. You get to the pinnacle of this market by having great season after great season, after great decade, after great decade, and building fans and generations of fans with that. And that only comes with sustained success.
You know what I loved about these comments is that you don't hear Kevin Demoff, who, by the way, is an LA native, so he understands the marketplace. You don't hear Kevin Demoff saying it's a race between us and the Chargers. It's a battle out on the streets for who can gain more corporate sponsorship, who can do business with bigger and better brands. That's not what Kevin Demoff is saying. He's saying that we don't even look at the Chargers as a competitive product or brand. We look at the Dodgers and the Lakers as what we want to get to, not as competition. We're just looking at them and saying, you're the dominant brands and the dominant franchises in LA. We want it to be Lakers, Dodgers, Rams, not Lakers, Dodgers, USC, and then, maybe this team, that team. Oh, and then here's the Rams. We want to be considered Lakers, Dodgers, Rams. That's LA sports. They want to be amongst that class. They're not worried about battling with the Chargers organization. They don't even exist. They're more worried about battling or gaining the status of the Lakers and the Dodgers. I thought those were interesting comments. And by the way, I still think the black hair, like mine, looks better than the gray hair of Kevin. But he got to play with, older dudes.
Yeah. We got to go to break, but I want to say something about both the things you just said.
Mm-hmm. You want to say them coming up in the next segment?
Yeah, I don't have time right now.
Okay, so you want to talk about Demoff, the Rams versus the Chargers?
And your hair.
And hairdos. Okay, all right. All right, look, we're in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com, just 7 minutes from downtown San Diego. Blackjack, poker, great food and bar. Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, great place to be. 7 Mile Casino.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Alive and Well at Your View want to send you and a guest on a fabulous vacation in Hawaii. You'll stay at the luxurious Fairmont Orchid Hawaii and experience their award-winning spa. Enjoy acres of gardens, waterfalls, an oceanfront pool, and white sand beach. Winners will also receive Sambucol Black Elderberry products to complete your wellness journey. Visit aliveandwell.tv for your chance to win.
Catch the action as St. Augustine takes on Mission Bay February 4th at 7:30 p.m. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Bondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
San Diego State women's basketball got the win against Utah State in the final second of the game on Wednesday night. Mercedes-Staples got the lay-in with less than a second left to get the Aztecs the 68-67 win. SDSU led for much of the game, but in the final minute, there were 6 lead changes. Sofia Ramos led the charge for SDSU with her second straight game, scoring 27 points. Ramos shot 9 for 16 from the floor and 8 for 9 from the line. She became the first Aztec in the Mountain West era to score 25 points or more in back-to-back games. She also led the team in rebounds, assists, and steals in the win. Asia Avender tallied on 13 points, and Staples had 12 points for the Aztecs. Next up, SDSU will play Boise State on Saturday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
1090 just got bigger and better. Please join us in welcoming SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate, the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. NFL, MLB, NBA, live game, the best sports talk programming with the largest signal in all of California. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Today, we proudly held the ribbon cutting ceremony for our new office in La Jolla, California. Here we are in the Merrill Lynch building, right in the middle of the village, and really, really happy to be part of this neighborhood. This is really special to Prospect in that it almost signifies the fact that we've grown up officially. We have survived the past 15 years by being very agile. We come to this one amazing location from 3 separate offices. So it's fantastic having everyone under one roof. This is going to do wonders in terms of streamlining our operations, being able to communicate with someone down the hall as opposed to someone who's several blocks away is going to be terrific. Our CEO, Jason Vondrack, he's a very humble person, but I know this day really, really means a lot to him in that he has led this company for 15 years. And he started this business out of a studio apartment. And look where we are now. That's huge. I think this new space signifies just endless possibilities for prospects. I mean, we're headquartered in La Jolla, but we do business all around the country. So our goal is to be licensed to offer home financing in all 50 states, and we're well on our way.
Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
I founded Driveway Auction after working in the automotive industry, becoming a dealer and questioning the process that puts consumers at a huge disadvantage when selling their cars.
The big difference between Driveway and the other services is that Driveway works for you. If you've ever tried to sell a car, you know that it's an awful process that makes you either go and meet strangers in parking lots to take test drives or sit at the dealership for hours and hours while they wear you down. Driveway eliminated all of that.
With Driveway Auction, we come to you, so we complete the 40-point vehicle inspection from the comfort and convenience of your own driveway.
We send an independent third-party inspector to take measurements of the car, take pictures of it, evaluate the condition.
We use that information to advocate for you, using our network of buyers to compete. And when they compete, you win.
They take over the whole process, and you don't have to do anything.
Our clients get more money and a better process with Driveway.
Everybody at Driveway made me feel so comfortable during the whole process. It was a great experience.
Prospect Home Finance is a mortgage company. We specialize in residential refinances and home purchases. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, if you're going out looking for a pre-approval to buy a new home, meet with the realtor, we would help you facilitate that and walk you through the process from A to Z. We specialize in getting homeowners loans for their dream home, but we also do more than that. So today we came down to Ocean Beach, partnered up with Surfrider, and had some team members come down here from Prospect, all pitched together, and had quite a bit of trash to clean up.
It's really heartening to see people come out and really care for the waterways.
It was great getting out here, and we're gonna do it again soon. We're always looking for ways to give back to the community of San Diego. So if you have any ideas or need any help or support in any way, visit us at homefinance.com.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas. Join Jane Klaus on Creative Living as she shares fun and inspiring ideas for enriching your life.
I'm Jane Klaus, and on the next Creative Living, we're talking about making positive changes in your lifestyle to kick off the new year. And a new career path for 2022 that could have you traveling the country.
Watch Creative Living, Sunday night at 8:30 on YourView and YourView.com. Creative Living. Imagine what you can do. Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate Black History Month with recognition of African American history, culture, and perseverance.
Watch Doing More, Sunday night at 6 on YourView and YourView.com. If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on YourView, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. and visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Welcome to Creative Living, where we help you live your most creative life. I'm Jane Klaus, and welcome